Hello dear children, good afternoon everyone, and once again welcome back you all to the online classes. And you know that now we are discussing the food and nutrition from your science part, and from this unit now we are discussing the second chapter, that is soil, its importance and erosion. So in the previous class already we had discussed about the soil and their composition, means the components of the soil, the components which are present, the percentage wise we have discussed, and also we learned about the formation of the soil and the process of the formation of soil by the breaking down of rock pieces by the action of some natural factors such as rainfall, water and sunlight, and some natural changes like in the climatic changes and all, and that process of forming the soil by all these factors is called the weathering or rock disintegration. And also we have learned about some facts about the soil, right? So these all the points we have discussed in the yesterday's class. And now in this class we are going to discuss about the importance of soil. So now we can learn what are the importance of the soil. Importance of soil. So we all know that this soil is a natural resource because we get this soil from the nature, and this is a natural resource, and we use soil for many purposes. And this soil, and the soil is the only product which give the nutrients for the plants. This is the only source. The soil is the only source which provides the nutrition for the plants. And we are not using the soil only for the growth of the crops or the plant. We even use the soil for many other purposes. For example, for pottery works and for the manufacturing of cement and the bricks. So in all these manner we use the soil. And we know that the soil, it takes 400 years to form. Just to form 1 centimeter of soil, it takes about 400 years, because the formation of soil is a very gradual and continuous process. It is very slow process, and this is used for all these purposes. Okay. And with this, the soil is also provide the habitat. It has become a home for many organisms such as the organisms such as the groundhogs and mice. Yes, the soil is provide the shelter, or it is become a home for the burrowers, such as the burrowers we can say. So like the groundhogs and for the mice. And also it provides the habitat for many microorganisms such as fungi and bacteria. So these are all present there, and also many other organisms are also there in the soil, such as the tapeworms, ants, beetles, many insects, and even some earthworms and all. So they are all present in the soil. Yes, and soil provide the habitat for all these kind of organisms. So that the soil is very important for all the organisms, as well as even the soil absorbs cold and seals the water. It holds the water, and the soil, it can absorb the water and hold and purifies. The soil, it absorbs, holds and purify the water. So that the soil acts as the natural purifier or the natural filter to purify the water. So because why it soil. And when the water gets seeps or when it absorbed by the soil, many of the contaminants, any impure particles or any impurities are present in the water, so that all will be left in the ground only. So the impurities, they will not seep through the water, and only the clean water can seep through the ground. And in the bedrock there are some spaces are there, so in between those spaces this water will be collected, and that water we can call as the groundwater, and we can use this groundwater for our future use. So likewise, this ground, the soil is act as the natural filters, and because it absorbs and it can hold and it can purify the water, so that we can call the soil as the natural filters. So likewise, the soil has many importance in our day-to-day life, right? So this is the importance of the soil. And now we can discuss about what are the composition of soil. Composition of soil. So the soil is having 3 layers in it. The soil, it is having 3 layers. So they are the first one is the topsoil. The first layer, that is the topsoil, and second layer it is subsoil, and the third layer it is bedrock. So there are 3 layers are there. So the first one is topsoil, and second one is subsoil, and third one is bedrock. So these are the 3 layers of the soil. And now I will draw a cross section of this. How can we identify the different layers of the soil? So just to see, and here you can observe the bedrock here. So this is all what? This is made up of the rocks. Completely it is made with the rock. So here the bedrock is there. And the second layer, it is made up of the, what we can call the subsoil. This is what? The subsoil. And here we can see the topsoil, which is rich in humus and minerals. Okay. This is all what? The topsoil, which is rich in humus and minerals. So there you can see the plants on the topsoil. These are the roots. So these are the different layers of the soil. So the first one, here we can say this is the topsoil, and this is the subsoil, and this one is the bedrock. So these are the different layers of the soil. One is topsoil, here you can see, and the subsoil, the second layer, and the bedrock, it is the last layer, and we can also call it as the parent material. Okay. So now we can discuss the importance of each layer of the soil. minerals and soil particles. Okay, soil particles. So this is what the topsoil. Topsoil is the mixture of humus, minerals and soil particles. So this humus, since it is rich in nutrients, the plants requires or the plants can acquire. It can take the nutrients from the humus, because humus is formed by the breakdown of dead and decaying matter, so that it is a dark color substance which is present in the soil, and then the plants, for growth of them, if the plants are growing in the healthy manner, then they will get the nutrients from this humus. And also we get many minerals such as the phosphorus, nitrogen and all from the soil. So these all the minerals, they are present in the soil, and also it is having some soil particles. So these all components, they make the topsoil. So that since these all are present, then the topsoil will be rich in the nutrients, so that the plants can grow in the topsoil and the roots of the plants can be penetrate through this topsoil. The roots, every plant is having the roots, and those roots are penetrate through the topsoil. And next to that is the subsoil, the second layer. And this subsoil, it is having some rock particles, or we can say some pebbles. Okay, it is having pebbles and less soil particles. Less soil particles. Only little quantity of soil will be there in the subsoil, and it is having some pebbles, means some rock pieces will be there in the subsoil. And since it is less in the humus. Humus is not present in higher quantity, and only some roots can penetrate through the subsoil. Not all the roots, only few. So you can see here, only few roots can penetrate through the subsoil, but not all the roots. Keep it in mind. Okay. So this is what the subsoil, and this is made up with some pebbles and less soil particles, and only it can able to pass some roots. Only some roots of the plant can be penetrate through the subsoil. And the last layer is bedrock. Here no soil particles are present. The bedrock, it is having no soil particles, and here the no roots can be penetrate. No roots. The roots of the plant, they will not penetrate till the bedrock. Even though they penetrate only up to the subsoil, and they will not reach the bedrock. So this is all what the composition of soil, and these are the three layers of the soil. One is topsoil, another one is subsoil, and third one is bedrock. So the topsoil, it is a mixture of humus, minerals and soil particles, and the plants acquire all the nutrients from this topsoil, because this is rich in the nutrition. So plants acquire their nutrition from the topsoil, so that the plants can grow well, and almost all the roots are penetrate through this topsoil. And the subsoil, so this subsoil is the second layer of the soil, and it is having some pebbles, means some small pieces of rocks, and also some soil particles, and here only a few roots can be penetrate through the subsoil. And the third layer of this soil is bedrock, and here this is the bedrock where no soil particles will be present and no roots can be penetrate. And here when the water gets seeped through the topsoil and the subsoil, so lastly this bedrock, it is having some spaces here, some gaps will be there inside. So through that spaces the water can be collected as the groundwater. So these are the three layers of the soil, and what we can say, these are the composition of So here the soil erosion, it is refer to the wearing away of the topsoil by the action of some natural factors such as water and wind. So when the water flows, when it takes place the heavy rain, so water will be flow when the speed of the water is more. So that time the top layer of the soil that will be flown away with that water, or that will be wear away, worn out with the water, so that the soil erosion takes place. And also when the water is loosened, so that time if usually this will take place where there is less plants are there. So in that area when the wind blows with high speed, the top layer of the soil also blown away with the winds, with the high speed of the winds. So that we all know that the topsoil, yes, the topsoil which is rich in the humus, and it is necessary for the growth of the plants, because the humus, the top layer of the soil which is containing the humus, and this humus is having the nutrients which are required by the plants to grow. And when the soil erosion takes place due to the water and wind, the topsoil will be worn out. And if there is no topsoil, there is no nutrition in the soil. And if there is no nutrients, how the plants can grow? Right? And even though we know that the plants can hold the soil, yes, the roots of the plant, they hold the soil griply, firmly. But by the deforestation and overgrazing of the animals, the soil gets loosened. So we know that we made the deforestation because as the population increases, the needs of the people for their jobs and all, and for the settlements, the place is required. So now what we are doing? We are clearing the forest area and constructing the factories or any industries and all, in terms of providing the jobs for the people. But in other term, what it is happening? Adversely it is affecting on us only. So if there is no plants, the soil erosion takes place. If the soil erosion takes place, then we are not able to grow the healthy plants, and there is a competition for food again. Even though we are having the jobs by the factories, when we build the factories by clearing the forest, the people are having the jobs, but there is no vegetation, there is poor vegetation. Then where we can get the food? Right? So by overgrazing, and even many people graze their animals. Okay? So by overgrazing, when the plant, by overgrazing again the plants will be vanished, and then if there is no plants means they will not hold the soil, and if they are not holding the soil, then the soil gets loosened. So when the soil gets loosened, so it can easily carry with the water and wind. So likewise the soil erosion takes place. So this is a very serious note, that because we know how many years it has took place to form just a 1 centimeter of soil. Yes, to form just 1 centimeter soil, it has taken 400 years. Then when the wind blows and when the water flows, all the soil will be carried away with that. Then again to recover, is it not a serious issue? So when 1 centimeter of soil to form, if it takes 400 years, So the soil erosion refer to soil erosion refers to the wearing away of topsoil, wearing away of topsoil by physical factors, by physical forces like water and wind, like water and wind. So when the topsoil is wearing away by the water, by the physical forces like water and wind, so here mainly the topsoil will be wearing away. So when the topsoil is wearing away, then we can say that everything, all the nutrients are provided to the plant by this topsoil. And if there is no topsoil, there is poor vegetation. We cannot grow the crops. And then say this in turns lead to the degradation, the soil degradation. When the soil erosion takes place, in other term we can say this as the soil degradation. Already we have learned about the degradation of the environment. So we all know that the soil is the natural resource because it is obtained in the nature. So it is provided us with the nature. And when the soil degradation takes place, so this is what the environment, it supports us to live, because we know that to survive we need the soil. Soil is also a necessary thing to survive, because the soil is the only source of nutrition for the plants, because the plants can grow only in the soil. So that the soil is very necessary for the growth of the plant, and since we are not able to prepare our own food, we are depending on the plants either directly or indirectly. We all are depending on the plants. So if there is no topsoil, there is a poor vegetation. And when there is a poor vegetation, again there is a competition for food. So this is a very serious note what it is happening here. So that the soil erosion in terms it leads to the soil degradation, and if there is the soil degradation takes place, we know what are the consequences. Yes, the poor vegetation, and again we also know that to form the soil, it is not an easy process. Again it is a very lengthy process, and the soil formation takes place very in the gradually it takes place. So again to recover we need many years, so that it is not an easy task. So that you have to try to plant more trees. So this is the way. So if we plant the trees, so that if we made afforestation, so that the plants can hold the soil, and also we can prevent the soil erosion, and also we can grow the more plant. So we can get the food also, right? So this you have to think. And now we can discuss we already said that the soil erosion takes place by the two physical forces like water and wind. And now we can discuss how the soil erosion takes place by the wind. By the water. Soil erosion by water. First we can discuss by water, then we can discuss by wind. Soil erosion by water. of flowing water is very less, so that this silt can be deposited in that place, and so they become rich in the fertility. The soil will be more fertile in the plains because of the less speed, the flow of the water is less, so that this silt can be deposited on that plains, so that the soil in those plain areas are very fertile. So this is how, and the areas with the who are there in the higher regions or in the slope regions and all. So from that all the places, the water carries the silt or the topsoil, and they will be deposited in the plain regions. Okay, so likewise, the soil erosion takes place by the water. And now we can discuss the soil erosion by wind. So usually by the wind, it usually takes place where there is less trees. Okay, where there is less trees, in that areas the soil erosion takes place by the wind. So when the winds are blowing with high speed, so that time it blown away some top soil with it, because with the high speed we know that when the winds are high speed, even some winds can uproot the trees. That much strong winds will be blowing. So when some strong winds are blowing, so they will carry some topsoil, the layer of topsoil with them, and the places where there are no trees or less trees, so they will be again become poor in that vegetation, because there is no topsoil. If the topsoil is blown away, then there is no topsoil means there is poor vegetation, and if the poor vegetation, the human beings and other animals, they will not get the food. So likewise these problems, and this soil erosion, it takes place by the wind in such areas, right? So this is what the soil erosion and degradation. So the soil erosion means, the soil erosion refers to the wearing away of topsoil by physical forces like water and wind. So we know that how it degrades. If the soil erosion takes place, the top layer of the soil will be burned out, and then there is in turn leads to the soil degradation. And the soil erosion, it takes place by the water. So when the water flows, so it can carry some humus in it, and then they will causes the soil erosion. And even the places where there are only less number of trees or no trees, so that in that area the topsoil will be very loosened, and that will be when the high speed winds are blowing. So with that winds, with the strong winds, the top layer of the soil is also taken away, so that the soil erosion takes place in that regions where there is no or less number of trees. So there the soil erosion takes place by the winds, right? So these are how the soil erosion occurs. And we know that if the soil erosion occurs, the biodegradation of the soil, so it can many consequences are there on the human life. So for example, what I said before only, the soil is the only source of the nutrition for the plants. So plants are growing in the soil, and these plants will get all the required nutrients from the soil. Okay, because the humus and minerals and soil, they are all present in the topsoil. So these plants are getting the nutrients from the soil. And when there is no topsoil, the first thing, it is the vegetation, the poor vegetation. If the plants, these are the only producers in our food chain. So if there is in the manufacture of cement and in the manufacture of bricks, right? So in all this, the soil is very important, and if our needs, as the population increases, the needs for this is also increases. So for manufacturing cements and for the manufacturing of bricks, nowadays we know the constructions works are going on everywhere, and they need the cement and the bricks to construct the buildings. So when they require in the large quantity, so their production also become increases. When the production of such things are increases, so they need more soil, so that they used to dig the ground and take the soil. And again, when they dig the ground and take the soil, again there the layer of the soil become loosened. So sometimes it may lead to the landslides. And also in the mining activities. So in the mining activities, where we get the ores, yes, the ores also get from the soil itself. So soil is having many ores such as the gold, silver, iron. So likewise many minerals, means many ores are present. The ores of such minerals are present in the soil. So that to obtain that in the mining process, so they dig the ground, and when they go on digging the ground, the layers of the soil become loosens. So many a times due to this, the landslides takes place, the earthquakes takes place, right? So these are all what the consequences of the soil erosion and the soil degradation, right? So that to conserve the soil is the duty of each and every one's, because we all are depending on the soil, because we all get food from the plants, and plants get the nutrients from the soil, and soil is the only source of nutrient for the plants. So that to conserve and maintaining the soil is the duty of everyone. So plant as much as trees, how much it is possible, that much trees you can plant, and conserve the soil, which is a very necessary natural resource. Okay. So with this I will conclude my today's class. I hope you have understood this. Even though if you have any queries, you can contact me and clarify doubts. And in the next class we can discuss about some conservation methods of soil, how to conserve the soil. So about that in detail we can discuss in the next class. And thank you. Have a nice day.